Hey guys, Dislitter Magic here, and the spoilers keep coming. And today, boy, for a core set, this is definitely not what I would call boring and vanilla. So first up, we've got Linea Mystica de la Abundancia, which of course is the mystic line of abundance, but it's actually ley line of abundance. And you might have noticed that this is neither ley line of vitality nor ley line of life force, so this is another brand new one. And looking at the two green lifelines that were reprint options, yeah, we didn't really need something that powerful, thanks. And of course, if somehow ley lines are new to you, it translates to if ley line of abundance is in your opening hand or your lap or in your palm, then you begin with it in the battlefield. And whenever you tap a creature for mana, add an additional green. And an arrow, kind of specific, but it's not like we don't have that in standard right now, so that's kind of cool. I like that. And then if you were to pay 6 with double green in there, you put a 1/1 counter on every creature you control. So I mean, yeah, that's probably all of your mana for the turn, and if you even had like 4 or 5 creatures, that's 5 more damage, whatever, but still, like, that's pretty good when you add in Proliferate. So yeah, this is like the ramp card. I mean, if you were to pull this turn 10, you probably wouldn't mind. You'd drop it right into play. You'd have the 4, and you'd still get the benefit. So if it shows up turn 0, cool. Otherwise, you know, it's still worth having in your deck. Can't really say that about most of the rest of them. So yeah, pretty extra spicy card here. Speaking of spicitude, Temple of Spice. Actually, it's Temple of Triumph, but it looks like they could store spice there. Why could it have been French? I like the French pronunciation of Triumph. Anyway, welcome to Theros. Temples are back. So I didn't think that they would put any dual color lands at all in this set, but I believe my exact words when I predicted it were they wouldn't put any good 2-color lands in. Yeah, I'll double down on that. I mean, personally, I like these, but that's because Theros is kind of right around when I started playing. I mean, it was more M14, but Theros is like one of my favorite blocks. It had one of my favorite mechanics. I liked it. I thought the gameplay was pretty good. There was a couple out of control decks, but compared to Tarkir, I mean, come on. It wasn't even close. Wasn't even a contest. That was an absolute shit show. $900 standard decks and everything was just lockout or turn forward, goblin rush. The whole meta across the board back then was an absolute dumpster fire. So I might have some nostalgia glasses on, but yeah, I mean, that scry one was nice. Good consistency, good little free scry. I think with the power level of standard right now and the sheer power of like search for Azcanta, this looks like crap, but after rotation, it might be good. Oh, and here I am assuming everybody knows what they do. Okay, so they enter the battlefield tapped, no matter what, and then when they enter the battlefield, you scry 1, and then after that, they tap for 1 of 2 colors. They are currently pre-selling for $2. They were really never worth that much. I think even at their peak, the most popular color was maybe $6 or $7. I could be remembering wrong. They could have hit like maybe 12, but boy, after they cycled out of standard, they went back to being very, very worthless. So I appreciated the consistency. It's just right now there's more ways to do this, so whatever. So anyways, you're probably seeing on screen, we already know about Epiphany, Malady, Mystery, and Silence. So the question is, how many of these will we see? Because we do already have 2 that are sharing red. So my guess would be all of them, but technically Temple of Epiphany, Malice, and Triumph all share red. But Malice is the, what do they call them, ally colors or whatever, because they're not across from each other on the pie. So they could cut just those out. I don't know, honestly, standard doesn't need more fixing right now, so the less the better. I'm just happy that it makes standard affordable and playable again, because right now, oh, you want to play literally anything Golgari, just Golgari. $120 for just the 8 lands that you need. Utterly ridiculous. I mean, that's beyond ridiculous. $120 just to play just a basic whatever you want deck, not even tier 1. Just, oh, those are the colors you chose? Well, screw you. There are entire games that cost less than $20. In this game, $22 for just 1 land, and you need 4 of them. They need to stop printing really good modern grade lands in standard. It's ruining the game. Nobody can afford this crap. So hooray for temples. If you don't like them, too bad. So next up we've got Moldavine Reclamation. It's a 5-cost enchantment. Whenever a creature you control dies, you gain 1 life and draw a card. So Wizard seems to have forgotten that we already have multiple effects that do this. We got a Midnight Reaper or whatever, and then Liliana. I think there might even be a 3rd one. Great, that's what we need. People drawing 3 cards every time one of their creatures dies, and I do believe none of them say non-token. So that's great, thanks for that. Next up, Fry. I do love that artwork. It's a 2-cost instant. This spell can't be countered. Good, except that it's red. And it deals 5 damage to target creature or Planeswalker that's white or blue. Well, there we go. It was almost a good card. Color locked to 40% of the colors. Yeah, nobody's playing this. Next up, Soren's here, because M20 doesn't have to have a logical story, damn it. So he's a mythic. You might have noticed, by the way, some of the Planeswalkers aren't. So I guess they're carrying that over from War. But yeah, he's mythic, and he's a 3 cost with 4 loyalty, which is pretty darn nuts. But he doesn't have an ultimate. Like I said before, I like that. Planeswalkers would be a lot less annoying if you didn't have to constantly stress out about their stupid alts and emblems and crap coming out. So his +1 is target creature you control gains Death Touch and Lifelink until end of turn. If it's a vampire, put a 1/1 counter on it. That is pretty tasty all around, whether you're running vampires or not. The other +1, which that's pretty wild, is you may sacrifice a vampire. When you do, Sorin Imperious Bloodlord deals 3 damage to any target and you gain 3 life. Boy, any target, that ain't no joke. Geez, that's pretty good, especially for a plus. I mean, that's kind of like a removal for a plus, although you're losing one of your creatures, so, you know, that makes sense. Then his -3 is you may put a vampire creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. Oh yay, free casting. That's like my favorite thing ever. It's definitely not proven to be problematic in every format over the last 25 years. Oh, look, they didn't put a restriction on the mana cost, power, toughness, nothing. Wow, thanks. So, you know, I guess they just forgot about Baron Sengir, Lysiev, the Vampire Charm Seeker, Vampiric Dragon, Blood Tyrant, Butcher of Malakir, Chancellor of the Dross, Defiant Bloodlord, Dusk Feaster, Garza Zol, Kalitas, he's my favorite, Kazarov, Sengir Pureblood, you know, Shaku, Endbringer, Zadek, Vishkal, Ascendant Evenkar, Bloodborne Scoundrels, Deathless Ancient, Edgar Markarov, Gruuldra's Overseer, Markov Warlord, Mephedros Vampire, Necropolis Regent, Nurkana Revenant, the Patron of the Vein, the Queen's Agent, Skeletal Vampire, that's a fun one, Stalking Bloodsucker, the Haunt of High Tower, Thief of the Blood, Vein Drinker, Vengeant Vampire, Vengeful Vampire, Anointed Deacon, Anawan the Rune Sage, Arrogant Vampire, Arvad the Curse, Bishop of Rebirth. I could go on. I mean, that's just the short list of things you really wouldn't want people free casting, and I think I just named an entire commander deck. Oh, and about 6 of those that I named are actually in standard right now, so this could be a problem. It's not as big of a problem as just blindly casting any creature, at least they restricted it by subtype. But, I mean, almost using the -3 to just throw some dumb vampire into play, it's kind of like a wasted opportunity when you could be using either of his +1s. So, in practice, it's not the end of the world necessarily. I just really hate free casting because it is inherently unfair and broken. So next up, we've got Yarok the Desecrated. It's a legendary elemental horror, 3 color with 5 total mana cost, and then it has Death Touch and Lifelink, and it's a 3/5. And if a permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. You know, I'm sick already of doing research today. I'll just say with 8 sets legal, there's probably some problematic ETB in the list somewhere. So yeah, this is going to be a pain in the ass. Fortunately, I don't think a lot of people are going to play it because they'd have to be playing those 3 colors, which is always the problem. And this being an elemental, while not having red, boy, that would be a 4-color elemental deck. I don't think that'll be a thing. So yeah, overpowered and obnoxious as hell, but will it really see play in a deck? Probably not. Now, you want to make this your commander, that's a whole different story. So next up, probably the craziest card we've seen so far, although I think I'll still give the Mythic Chandra that title, so we'll go second place. It's Rotting Regisaur, because somebody at Wizards has some weird dinosaur fetish where they want to make them all overpowered as hell and have dinosaurs completely ruin the game. I guess they're probably, it's like a dinosaur reparation fairness thing because they're all SJWs over there. They're all mad that mammals took over for the dinosaurs. Honestly, as wacky as that sounds, I wouldn't put it past him. So, yeah, 7/6 for 3, and at the beginning of your upkeep, discard a card. Unless you don't have one, then who gives a crap? And unless you actually wanted that card in the graveyard, then again, who gives a crap? I mean, people would not be losing their shit over this card if it said, and if you can't, sacrifice Rotting Regisaur. Because there have been many cards printed with that mechanic. Hell, there's one in standard right now that says sacrifice a creature if you can't sacrifice this 6/6 flying demon. I think I recall it working that way. So yeah, a 7/6 on your turn 3 and your opponent's turn 2 if you went first. That's really fair. Thanks, guys. At least it doesn't have trample for once. I'm shocked. The worst thing is this is a zombie, so it gets all the zombie boosts and, you know, the ability to bring it back from the graveyard and all this other crap. I mean, turn 3 is honestly a really bad time to cast this, but if it's like turn 15 and you want to cast this plus something else, then your hand's empty anyway, this is overpowered as balls. So yeah, they need to stop printing stupid shit like this. So next up, Marauding Raptor, because dinosaurs. So it's a 2/3 for 2, and creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Not just dinosaurs, all creatures, so clearly somebody's lost their damn mind. And then whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Marauding Raptor deals 2 damage to it. Under your control, it deals 2 damage to it. They do know that Enrage is only going to be legal for 3 months after this, right? But wait, there's more. If a dinosaur is dealt damage this way, Marauding Raptor gets +2/+0 till end of turn, because it wasn't powerful enough already, so suck it. So this is just an absolute dumpster fire of overpoweredness that'll be virtually irrelevant when Ixalan rotates out. I do not know what the actual hell they were thinking with this card. Oh, let me just respond to all the, yes, do you even like Magic? You're so negative. Nah, nah, nah. They have Rune Standard for almost 3 years straight. Did you notice they banned 9 cards? Did you notice that everything right now is overpriced, overpowered shit, and it's not fun to play against, and everything's just control spam, just bullshit? Did you not notice that? You really need to get a clue about how the game works versus how it used to work before you leave stupid comments like that. I call out Wizards on their mistakes and their bullshit because 1, it gets things done, look at the paper quality, and 2, I want it fixed. Every time there's a ban announcement, they say, we know there's been a lot of community talk about. That's how they announce every ban and non-ban. They're listening. I have a lot of subscribers, and on top of that, I hear I have a lot of fans who work at Wizards. I've got probably more enemies that work there, but a lot of people who work there really like my channel and watch it all the time. So every time they print some unfun, overpowered, game-ruining, standard-ruining, meta-ruining shit that we're gonna have to deal with for a year and a half, I get a little bit heated over it. You should too. It really shows your lack of knowledge about the game if you don't complain about certain things that are inherently broken. Yeah, but does he say everything is broken? I looked back, I have about a 75% correct rate, which is obviously better than Wizards of the Coast themselves. So people like to point out the couple times I was wrong, and even wrong is arguable because, you know, they're like, hey, Cryptolith, you were wrong about that. No, I believe it's the second most expensive rare in the set. It's still about $6 or $7 right now today. It just happened to not find a deck. To have a card absolutely blow up and become problematic, you need 1, a horribly overpowered card, and 2, a deck archetype to drop it into. We didn't have number 2. Doesn't mean my assessment about the card was wrong. So anything in this entire spoiler season that I say, wow, that's overpowered and problematic, possibly if somebody finds a deck for it. I assure you, I am almost definitely correct about it. On top of it, any comment like that is being deleted. So go whine about censorship on somebody else's channel. I just don't want to hear your stupid bullshit. This is a bullshit-free comment section, sorry. So anyway, next card we've got Aruato do Sol. Oh, I love Portuguese, it's my favorite. So it's really just Herald of the Sun. It's a horribly overcosted angel, 4/4 flyer for 6. And if you pay 4, put a 1/1 counter on another target creature with flying. Wow, that is filler. If you're playing like blue-white, all flyers, angel heavy, semi-tribal, this is almost playable. That's how bad this card is. So next up, Portal of Sanctuary. It's a 3-cost artifact. Ooh, blue artifact. Oh wait, I gotta keep the pattern going. It's a green artifact. And if you pay 1 and tap it, return target creature you control and each aura attached to it to their owner's hands. Activate this ability only during your turn. So yeah, that's a lot of mana to get them back out, but if either one had an ETB, that's cool. Is this worth it in a aura heavy deck with only maybe like 16 creatures and a ton of auras? Probably. I mean, what else would this be? Another aura, another creature? Well, you can save both. And once this is out, this is out. You don't even like sack anything. So you just save your creatures over and over and over and make all their removal spells do nothing. The problem is people run sweepers and board wipes, so you can only do this once per turn. And like I said, it's a damn lot of mana to undo it, but I think just basically don't build that entire deck would be my advice. But if you did run this. By the way, this card is further evidence that we're going back to Theros. So next up, Replica Magistrale. That of course means Masterful Replication. I hope this is a clone spell, but I don't know what the hell they're doing with a bunch of 6-cost spells. 6 is like game-winning level, and all the cards I've seen for 6 are like, oh, well, that kind of would work in a deck. We're probably going into a massive amount of mana generation, which that's never good. So it's a 6-cost blue instant, choose 1, create 2 3/3 colorless artifact golem creature tokens, or choose a target artifact you control. Other artifacts you control become a copy of that artifact until end of turn. Okay, so it's a conditional mass cloner. Well, not really, it doesn't even bring out something new. It's a state changer, polymorpher. I don't know if that archetype even has a nickname. So I mean, yeah, turn everything you own into Traxos and just win the game, I guess. I don't know, it costs 6 and it's a little narrow. And this will probably honestly just get countered. So, I don't know. Well, the blue artifact decks right now are like really good. I don't know if you guys noticed. It's very tier 2, but it's very good. And this is just set up for some crazy ass artifact thing. So, yeah, I think we're going to see an artifact heavy set next. Next up, whatever the hell that says. Allegedly it's Scuttlemutt is what they're saying. I don't know about that, but okay. It's an artifact creature, Scarecrow. Get that Scarecrow tribal going. That's hot. It's a 2/2 for 3, and you could tap it to add 1 mana of any color, which is nice. Or you can tap it and target creature becomes the color of the color or colors of your choice until end of turn. Well, this was printed for not standard. Color relevancy is so annoying, and if they think this is going to save them from nobody playing their stupid 2-color restrictive crap, they are completely wrong. In fact, most of those refer to spell color. There's only one card I can think of so far in this whole set that refers to like protection from a color. I think there was one more that had hexproof from a color, so still not worth running this at all. This is obviously for a painter deck. So next up we got, yeah, I'm not even going to try. Russian Vampire guy, I don't know. Allegedly it's Knight of the Ebon Legion. I don't know what Ebon is or how they got a proper noun out of that title, but okay. So it's a 1 black 1/2 Vampire Knight. That's already scary. And if you pay 3, Knight of the Ebon Legion gets +3/+3 and gains Death Touch until end of turn. That's absolutely insane. And in the beginning of your end step, if a player lost 4 or more life this turn, put a 1/1 counter on Knight of the Ebon Legion. So it's end step and it's either player, you or anybody else playing. Well, this is a $20 card. So next up, we've got allegedly Cavalier of Dawn. It's a triple white 5 cost. Hello. It's a mythic. It has vigilance, and when it enters the battlefield, destroy up to 1 target non-land permanent. Oh, I love this. Its controller creates, a colorless 3/3 golem artifact creature token. Okay, now I don't love this. I mean, if you blow up their giant zombie dinosaur, great, but like, you just gave him a 3/3. Nobody plays that stupid Simic card that turns a creature into a 3/3, except for me. Giving somebody a 3/3 very rarely works out compared to just outright blowing up their creature or pinning it down with a 2-cost white spell, for example. But, okay, this is a 4/6 for 5. I mean, okay. The problem is, and I know this could be a translation thing, so maybe not, but it doesn't say may. You have to destroy up to 1 target non-land permanent. Well, I gotta say, that is assisted by the fact that you could target your own permanent. And remember, it also doesn't say non-token. So if you had some little, I don't know what it would be in white, I guess a soldier, 1/1 soldier, and you destroyed it and got out a 3/3, cool. I feel like blowing up your own stuff is definitely going to be more common than blowing up your opponent's stuff. But you have to do this. You got to pick something. So if you have nothing but lands and you drop this in alone, you have to pick it. That's fun. But also, when Cavalier of the Dawn dies, return target artifact or enchantment from your graveyard to your hand. So, okay. I mean, if you had to solo cast this, it wouldn't be the end of the world. You get a little bit out of that. I will probably, just to piss people off, put like 1 or 2 of these in my current duck and cover deck. I mean, 4/6 of Vigilance, that ain't no joke. And if you put this in like an all auras deck, which I think is what they're suggesting, you could pump this thing up pretty damn big. So hey, at least it's an appropriately powered, fun, interesting, good for draft, good for pre-release mythic. Not some just overpowered disaster where everybody's immediate reaction is, holy shit. They need more cards like this. Like, this is what every mythic should be. So next up, Scholar of the Ages, 7 costs because 6 wasn't high enough apparently. It's a human wizard, it's a 3/3, so that is just pulling the subway right up into the Value Town stop. And when Scholar of the Ages enters the battlefield, return up to 2 target instant or sorcery cards from your graveyard to your hand. Oh, wonderful. This card literally only helps out Esper Control, no win con Teferi. Fantastic. And I'd say probably Dimir Stall Mill too. I'll throw that one in there too. And that is the last spoiler for now. So, boy, just a lot of disappointment, a couple overpowered cards, a couple borderline things, and a couple wasted filler jank, and then, 1 or 2 good ones. So, now it feels like a core set. I don't know, I'd say overall the set's looking pretty decent, but it's a pretty damn low bar after the 6 disasters in a row that we've just had. And, oh, hey, you people who don't have ADD are still watching this outro even though you know that the spoilers are done? Cool, you get special information that nobody else does. You ADD people who are driving down my watch percentages. Later today, I have another story from the LGS from hell. So it's coming back, guys. It's coming back. And my Patreon supporters have known this for a while now, by the way. So if you want the inside scoop, some full-res thumbnails I usually upload and a lot of, I don't know, advanced information. Not to mention screenshots of the most hilariously toxic, psychotic, crazy-ass hate comments I've ever gotten. Join my Patreon. Also, it's connected to my Discord, so that's pretty much the best Discord server ever. It only has 2 channels, Main and Tactical Meme Bunker. which of course contains all of the greatest, most powerful weapons grade memes. And there ain't no limit on it. You can give me $1 a month and get on that Discord. And I just had another $1,000 medical bill, so help a brother out. And like someone who isn't Wedge for once, preferably. That would be nice. I mean, me specifically is who I'm talking about. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys later today.